Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was looking at the time at the top and it didn't say anything, so my apologies. Let me get this down a little bit. Let's get a little more comfortable. We good? It's full screen, much bigger, isn't it? It's a little too big. Hold on, make sure you can hear me. Hello. Okay, so this video is going to be my Q&A. I was going to do it after January, but I decided against it. You know, it's funny. I mean, you're going to laugh, right? It has to be funny. My sister got me these, it's 12 days of Christmas Advent calendar. And it's mixers. So it's like alcohol with another thing. And I haven't been drinking. For the last 5 months, almost 5 months, I've been pretty much sober, which is I come and go, but I've really haven't had a desire or a taste of alcohol, and I got one here. It's French. Oh, yeah. Move it closer to the screen so it gets blurry. It's vodka, but right above it you see it's French vodka. Whatever that means. But they also give you these little mixers. And this is Winter Mule Mixer. This is non-alcoholic. Ginger and lime. Ooh, there's the ginger on the back of the throat. Wow. Ginger and lime juice cocktail blend from concentrate. I've actually had more enjoyment drinking these because I haven't been drinking alcohol. I'm sure there's a few people wondering why I haven't been drinking in my videos. I just making changes in my life. And that's one of them. But the Winter Mule Mixer is delicious, by the way. The last one I had was mojito. I love myself a mojito. It's a I don't know what if it's a juice. But anyways, you take mint and you just bash it up, and and then you mix it with rum, and it's pretty good. I always loved a mojito. They're delicious. Just don't drink them that often. And then the first one was it was like a Sex in the City drink. Had cranberry juice. Oh my goodness, what was it? It's not important. But I poured that into a container, to a glass, and then I poured the alcohol in. Mixing the whole bottles. I shouldn't have done that. I should have poured this in and then the alcohol just kind of to taste just enough, but I didn't do that. And it made it a cosmopolitan, that's what it was. It made it not so delicious. But I have been enjoying the mixers. You taste the lime. Wow. And there's the ginger at the back of the throat. That's not what this video is about, by the way. This is... Let me move this right here. This is the Q&A video. Don't mind Kate Batts. A couple people have made comments that as they watch the video, they keep an eye on her to see if she moves. She's not possessed, I promise. And if she is, she hasn't done anything to me, so, like... And then, this is Chuck Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese. It's my guy. You gotta have your boys with you. And girls. Woman. I apologize, don't haunt me. But I wanted to go ahead and we'll get into the Q&A. Somebody with my sister's first and last name. Said, who's your favorite sibling? Don't worry, I know the answer is me, but make a video for everyone else. Well, clearly now, it's not you. So, both my sisters, one's 5 and the other is 7 years older than me. Yeah, I believe something like that. The older sister, growing up, we got along, but there was 7 years difference. My sister, that's my sister Britt. My sister Angie, the one who said that, we were a little more closer, kind of experienced things a little bit more together. She doesn't live too far away from me, and she's pretty much like a best friend. We may not talk every day, but I don't think we haven't really had like a fight or anything like that. So her and I get along pretty much. We'll go out every couple weeks, sometimes a month. But she was recording my Halloween video where I was eating the s'mores. So she was the one who told everyone I had Skittles in my s'mores like a year or two before. Okay, so this is F1AJ. I'm going from last to first. What's your favorite food, and are you interested in trying different cuisines, Middle Eastern? Absolutely. So, being in America, by the way, spoiler alert, if you didn't know, I am an American. Most of you probably look at me and think, if he's not North Korean, he's probably, maybe, quite possibly Nigerian, but you'd be wrong. I am North American. So most of the stuff that we have here is beef, pork, chicken. Those are like the main dishes. Now, I'm not saying that that's not what it is everywhere else, but that's pretty much what it is here. And so I'm not a big, like pork chops, I don't eat a whole, I do like sausage on my pizza. That's a difficult one to stop. I don't eat bacon as much because I stopped eating bacon actually because it gives me heartburn. But I love bacon. BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich with some mayo on it and on toast. But I don't eat those anymore. I'm giving it all up. Making changes. Let's see. My favorite cuisine. I'm a big steak guy. I do love a nice steak. When I'm going to look for places to go eat, I will always check to see if there is some sort of a steak. I like sirloin. I don't like fat in my steak. Why? What am I going to eat? It's like eating a whale or a seal. It's like blubber. I don't want to eat that. I want the meat. I want the meat, man. So I love steak. Sirloin, medium well. But if I'm cooking for myself, I eat a lot of baked chicken. Occasionally I will make I'll make an enchilada. Big old pan enchilada. It's really good. In fact, let me see. I made an enchilada not too long ago. It was delicious. And when enchilada, it's a big pan, basically, of enchiladas. Oh, that's job related. I don't want to show you job related stuff. You won't care about that. Give me my enchilada. And when did I make that? Was that a while? Oh, here it is. Well, So you're not going to be able to appreciate it. Yeah, hold on. Still nothing. So basically, an enchilada, how I make them, is ground beef, cooked off, and then I throw in a can of refried beans to kind of thicken it up. Then I pour in some enchilada sauce, red enchilada sauce, and then I don't remember the other stuff. Enchilada sauce. Oh, chili beans. And then I cook all that up. Then I get my big corn tortillas and I throw handfuls of cheese in there with scoops of that stuff, roll it up, put it in a pan. I can get about 7 of them in this pan. Big pan, and it's big enchiladas. Pour some sauce over the top, more chili beans, a ton of cheese, and it's already cooked, but then I throw it in the oven to kind of melt the cheese over the top. Spatula, just start cutting into it. I'm drooling right now just thinking about it. It's like eating soft shell tacos in a way. It's not, but just imagine that because of the tortillas just covered in cheese. It's just, it's so good. But I can eat a lot of different stuff. Middle Eastern cuisine isn't big around here. I mean, there are some places that you can go and get a gyro and stuff like that. I don't go to those places very often. I love the gyros. I don't go there very often. So whenever I do, I really feel extra white in those places because I walk in and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to order here. I've never been here before. I don't know how I'm supposed to orders. So I always feel really stupid. It's just a mental thing. They don't care. They're just like, it's fine. You're not the only, like, you're not the first person who's ever walked in here and not exactly sure what to get. So I always walk in. I always look like I know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, that looks, yeah, I've tried that. I've never tried any of them, but I'm just, yeah, that's delicious. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that one. And typically it's the one that I can pronounce, so that's the one I'll go with. Let's see. Have you read the entire Quran before? No. What did I hit? Oh, I hit the button. I'm sorry. This is from ALIELGANEMI. I was spot on with the translation there. No. I clicked the wrong question. Have you read the entire Quran before? That is from Noah Mystery. NOOA Mystery 2470. No, I have not. To be fair, I've also never read the Bible. So, it's I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm sure eventually I would. I did try. But it just didn't work out for me. It was just like, it was really difficult. Okay, now the other name I said. Can something come from nothing? Is it necessary for something to always exist? Or can something itself be created by himself? Or should we not think about this issue? Damn. It's supposed to be lighthearted and fun. And you're dropping question bombs here. Can something come from nothing? Is it necessary for something to always exist? Or can something itself be created? Wow. Okay, can something come from nothing? And I'm going to take what you're saying. Can life start at the Big Bang? Because nothing existed before. This, I could be wrong in what you're asking, what you're saying. Wow, that's a good question. Can something come from nothing? Well, no. No. Because if nothing's there, how can something come from it? Something has to have been there to create something. Which does go against the Big Bang Theory. Not the TV show, the scientific theory. Because that's like saying if you walk into a room that's completely empty and there's nothing in it, you close the door and you open up again and there's a couch in it. How did that couch appear? Something had to have built it, created it, put it in there, whatever. Now, I'm not saying you open the door, nothing, close it, open the door, there's a couch. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're looking at something that's vastly empty, something can't just poof into nothingness and be there. I don't see how that could be possible. Winter Mule Mixer, right? We're bing. It does contain, oh, there's the ginger again. I know it's there, but it always catches me off guard. It's like it punches that thing in the back of your throat. It's like a boxer. I take a swig and I'm like, ooh, the lime's good. And the ginger's like, and I'm just like, hey, could we stop doing that, please? It's like it latches onto that dangly and just burns. It's gone now, but there's enough there. And this is a non-alcoholic cocktail mixer. Add spirit to make one cocktail. Let me tell you, this is 2 ounces. And this is 2 ounces. That's too much alcohol. So the French vodka, I know you didn't ask, was distilled in Louisville, Kentucky, product of France, bottled in Canada. So that thing has traveled more than I have. A little sweet. Even keeping it in my mouth, all it did was make the ginger mad, so now it burned in my tongue, the under part of my tongue, and now in the back of my throat. Ginger really doesn't like people, I think. Ginger's good for you, but it really doesn't want to be. Ginger is kicking, punching, screaming, and fighting. Okay, I apologize. Let me get back to your question. I'm just 18 minutes in, 3 questions in, and I'm just rambling. Okay. Can something come from nothing? Is it necessary for something to always exist? Or can something itself be created? I would think, to be fair, nothing can just be created. And if that's what I'm thinking, then I believe in a way that the Big Bang Theory cannot be true. In that something would have had to cause that spark. And I understand scientists and all these people are doing everything they can to try to think outside the box or think logical things. And sometimes, yes. But right now, yeah, my opinion is changing a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna feel free. Because look, when I drink a little bit, I do tend to get a little a little talkative, a little happy. And so I'm going to swig a little bit of this French vanilla vodka. I'm not going to like it at all. Not French vanilla, French vodka. Just to indulge you all. Because I think at the end of the year, I'm distilled from wheat. Isn't normally vodka distilled from potatoes? I'm trying to smell it like I'm going to get some kind of... That's vodka all right. That's vodka all right. That was vodka. Yes, it was. That was a mistake. That was a mistake on every level. Yep. I'm good. Okay. By himself, or should we not think about this issue? It's a good question. It's a good issue. It's a discussion that will never end. 150 years from now, you'll all be dead. You know, I'll still be around. I'm a vampire. I admit it. But you'll all be gone. Fine, I'll be gone too. Somebody else is going to ask that same question. Can something exist? Can something be created from nothing? And there's going to be some people that say, absolutely. And here's why. Random spark, this, that. You know, they're going to give you the... anyone seen Avengers Endgame? I'm just going to pretend you all have, because you better. Do you remember how Ant-Man came back? Spoiler if you haven't seen it. What am I talking? It's been 5 years. If you haven't seen it, it's your problem, not mine. One of the greatest movies of all time. Whole series. I love Marvel today. Okay. I almost started yelling. I apologize. Okay. Wow, I just lost my train. Oh. So, a rat walks on the machine and boom, ejects him from the quantum realm. That is kind of the... I can't believe I'm saying this. That is the Big Bang Theory in essence. That is the magical spark. A rat jumped on the machine and shot him out of the quantum realm and saved him. That to me is now the grasping of straws of the Big Bang Theory. And I cannot believe I'm saying that. Look at me. Agreeing with religion. User ZX1IU6OQ9S. What do you think about Islam before and now? Thanks and peace be with you. Peace be with you, my friend. What do I think about Islam before and now? I was fortunate enough, and I think this... I was fortunate enough that the place that when I was born was called Lexington Ridge Condos, and the place that I was, you know, when I wasn't born there. I was born in a hospital, but that's where I moved when I was a kid. My neighbors were Muslim, and I've talked about this on the channel before. I keep calling the husband Kevin, and his name wasn't Kevin. I think Kevin was his brother. His name was Mike. They were the double M's. Mike and Muna. Muna was a big woman. She was always nice. She was always nice to me. She always made delicious rice too, and I love rice. But she made it was Middle Eastern rice to me. That was all I knew. That was what I called it, because I was used to white rice or brown rice, which we didn't really make brown rice. We made white rice. She made this rice, And she would make it, and she'd make extra, and she'd bring it to our house so I could have some. And every single time I saw that little Tupperware container, she was like, she'd knock on the door and she'd say, Janice, this is for Christopher. I know he really likes it. And I'd be like, and I would get so excited, I'd run over and just hug her. And she was like, oh, you're welcome, you're welcome. Just return the Tupperware when you're done. I could return that Tupperware in 4 or 5 hours. I would just take it and just sit on the couch and just eat it. It was delicious. And it was delicious because I didn't eat brown rice that much. I had white rice because we'd go to Chinese places and we had white rice at home. But it was different. I'd never had it before. It was amazing. So all that's to say, I was fortunate enough to grow up next to the kid. His name was Mustafa, and his brother was Kareem, and I guess there was another brother and a sister, but I do not remember at all. Kareem was a little shit, though. He broke my arm. So I was riding my scooter, and Kareem came out of nowhere with a rock. I went, and I'm riding my little scooter, and I was like, yeah. And he sidearmed that thing, and it went right in front of my tire, and the whole scooter stopped, and I went forward like this, and my arm went. I got up and ran home, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just holding my arm, and I'm crying, saying, I broke my arm, I broke my arm, I broke my arm. And my dad's like, shut up, you little bitch. You didn't break your arm. And my mom's like, oh, well, tomorrow we'll take him to the doctor. Took me to the doctor. My doctor goes, we'll send him to the hospital, get his arm x-rayed. I get in to get my arm x-rayed, and the doctor comes out and goes, yeah, he's got a green stick fracture. And I'm like, just looking at him, and my dad goes, huh. Oh, it's nice. Green stick fracture is a break. I think it was right in here. It's a break, but it's not a complete break. It's like a break, but it still hangs on. So in order to fix it, they have to re-break it, or break it to begin with. Break it completely, and then reset it so it can heal. So in my mind, they were like, is he out? Yeah. They just took my arm and bashed it over their knee. That was how they did it to me. In my mind, because I was a kid, and then they came out and they were like, surgery was well. And to this day, I believe that's what they did. They were like, look, we got a bunch of these little shits coming through. Let's just bash their arms over our knees and just break them and move on. They put it in a cast. The cast back in those days, early 2000s, because I'm an 18-year-old, was you couldn't get. It was a full cast on my arm. I couldn't get it wet. Do you know how itchy your cast is when your cast is set like this in a way, and you can't get down in there to scratch, and you're just like you're hitting it on things, ow, 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 just trying to get some kind of relief. It wasn't pleasant. That's the point I'm trying to express to you. It was not pleasant at all. I didn't like it, but it was broken. What was I supposed to do? And then when they took the cast off, I don't know how it is in other countries, but when they take the cast off, they had this device that looked like a mini saw, and they turned it on and it was spinning, and they were like, all right, what we're going to do is just cut it open. And I'm like, no, you're going to cut my arm open. And they were like, no, it doesn't actually cut. It just vibrates. And I'm like, sure it does. The doctor turns it on and puts his finger underneath it and just and when he touches your hand, it stops moving. But it does tickle. It sends this little vibration, and it's very ticklish. And so, when a doctor puts his fingers on the line, you're kind of like, all right, I'll believe you. If he didn't do that, I'd have been like, yeah, no, we're not doing it that way. I don't care. Get a hammer, whatever you got to do, get this thing off of me, because we're not doing that. He went, and then he showed me his finger, and I was like, all right. And then he goes, look, he took my hand, and I was like, you're lucky. So, and then took it off. I was like, all right. And as soon as it was off, the stench. it was not pleasant. I know a lot of you were like, Chris, you look like you smell amazing. And even in a cast, you probably smell great. You would be incorrect about the cast part. Incorrect about the cast part. It stunk. I would have rather smelled the genitals of a homeless man. That's not true, but we're going to go with that extreme example for right now. Let me have some more Winter Mule Mixer. Man, that ginger. Can I just, since we're sharing, so the older I get, I have developed a soap and lotion appeal. I like Duke Cannon. I'm going to pause this just a second. I'm going to grab some stuff. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry. I paused it and then work. Okay. So I said, I'm hurting myself. Okay. So I developed, apparently I consider myself quite the fancy boy. And I use, there's a coconut. I don't know where it is. There's a coconut lotion that I like to use on my face and my hands. It's really thick. It's really nice. But then I started using this. It's aromatherapy, eucalyptus and spearmint stress relief lotion. If you ever see me, I have to. Look, I think this video is going to change a lot of opinions about me. You're going to realize that I'm not as cool as you might have thought. I'm devastatingly crushing people right now going, I think he's pretty decent. And then you watch this video and you're like, I don't know about that guy anymore. He uses eucalyptus spearmint lotion. I mean, come on. And he was bragging about it. Come on, what's wrong with this guy? I apologize. I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to show. You know what? I'm going to show you. I have some Citrus Sunrise body lotion. I don't use it on my body. Just use it on my arms and hands and face. Raspberry and strawberry. Look, if you're losing respect for me, I get it. I understand. I apologize. I mean, you know, this was a Q&A and this is me being honest. Oh! So, this is 33 minutes. This is going to be a long-ass video. Buckle in, folks. I'm telling you 33 minutes in. So, I got to, one of the videos, I had a discussion where I said I used to get a lot of sinus infections. I invested in a Navage. Oh! It's a manly scream. That's what that was. So I don't know where that water came from. Let's hope that was normal. We're going to edit out just pretend like you didn't hear me screaming. You know what? You did. You've already lost respect for me. What that's really going to do anything. So what you do is this reservoir, and you see the little salt pod, the foil. So you put water in here, then you'll put your salt pod foil down right there. Then you close it. That's not going to work. But you then stick it in your nose. You hit the button, and there's an arrow right here, which you can faintly see, and an arrow on the other side, which you cannot see. I'm sorry, but this arrow pushes the water in through this one into your nose, and this one, there's a suction and it pulls it, so it's pushing the water in one nostril and forcing it out the other, so it goes all through your sinus cavities. And if you do the wrong thing and like you as it's coming in, you'll feel it push into your ear canals, and you just have to pinch your nose and push, and it clears out your ears. But the nasty part, and actually the pretty cool part, is this reservoir here. There's a little hole there. It goes through and then it drains into here, so you can see the nasty, snotty, goopy, gunky, nasty, disgusting, nasty stuff. It's a top 5 thing in terms of like things that you can buy for yourself. It's a top 5 thing. Like I'll go to work and I could be in a dusty environment and go to blow my nose and it gets a little dusty in there. I come home, clean out my sinuses immediately. Like, it's just so. I said I was a soap guy and stuff like that, so I just covered some lotion, and I'm gonna show you this. When I went to Harry Truman's house and Dwight Eisenhower's and then Jesse James, the hotel that I used was something Creek. Anyways, in it, notice the lotion, remember? Stress relief, eucalyptus spearmint, body shine shampoo, and conditioner. Now, as you can see, clearly, this dome nugget right here needs a lot of conditioner. This hair is vital to the success of me. So, it's really good. It doesn't feel pleasant when it gets in your eyes, though. I haven't figured out why. So a few years back, I don't have the other one. I'm talking to you like you know exactly what I'm about to say. Why? Why? Why am I doing this to myself? It's so not good. It's not good at all. I hate vodka. I hate vodka so much. So, I decided I wanted to try some soap. What a recovery I just did. So, there's this soap called Dr. Squatch. It's nice smelling stuff. It's all natural. But it's expensive. And so I decided to try something different. So I tried this stuff called Crate 61. And there's a bunch of different kinds. I've got yucca mint, avocado, grapefruit, and activated charcoal left in this box. I use them now more for hand soap. I don't really use them for body soap anymore. And then I tried the Dr. Squatch. Like I say, it's good. It's overrated. I do apologize if soap talk and shampoo talk and hand lotion talk was not what you came here for. I'm sorry. But I'm just sharing. Then I switched to Duke Cannon. Now, not every soap is a beer soap, but they have a bunch of different stuff. And what I love about Duke Cannon, this is warm cedarwood scent. It's a 10-ounce bar of soap. They have all kinds. If you're in America and you don't know where to get this, Cracker Barrel in the gift shop, that's one spot. They also have beard wash, which I do use. I use the beard oil. Don't have any in now. I think you can also get it in Hy-Vee and some Ace Hardware. Then, another thing that I noticed, and this is just cool, moisturizing Man Bar. This is Midnight Amber fragrance. But what I love about this is the better the packaging, the more disappointing the soap. Now, this soap is decent. Duke Cannon's better. But this is what I like about this. This is magnetized. Are you ready? Little magnet there. Little magnet at the top. Gives you the whole thing. The whole story about the soap. Comes in its own little thing. This is Midnight Amber fragrance. Fragrance? Am I drunk? Man bar. This is also, is this a 10-ounce bar? Feels like it. This is not as strong as a Duke Cannon. By the way, we're 40 minutes in. This is going to be one video. We're doing the whole thing. I've been drinking mixers individually. By the way, I got mixer number 2 up. London Dry Gin. And by the way, if you don't like me doing this, blame my sister Angie in the comments. Because she gave this to me. Her and her brother-in-law. Am I drunk? Her and her brother-in-law. How about her husband, Chris? You drunk son of a bitch. My brother-in-law, they bought this for me for my birthday. Her brother-in-law / husband. I've never had gin before. Oh, wee. For people who don't know, gin is vodka with the little spices and stuff like that added to it. It's actually, I don't know if this is the soap on my hands or this is the gin. So it was a really good spice at first. Did I just drool? It was a really good spice at first. And then it was just like, hey, here's the vodka. And it just punched me right in the mouth testicles. I don't know what that means. This is Blood Orange Cocktail Mixer. This is blood orange and key lime juice cocktail blend from concentrate. I've never had blood orange, but key lime juice. And ooh, hold on. Wow. I don't know if I like that. So the initial taste is good. It's orange. And then I've never had a blood orange, so I don't know if that's the taste, but it's overpowering with the bitterness after that. I wanted to ask, has anyone ever had a key lime pie? Now, I apologize. Look, I've been drinking for people who for a question that will be asked in a little bit. I have a giant bag of salted peanuts. Am I sharing because I've been drinking? Probably. I share a lot when I drink, and that's why I drank for this video. Those peanuts do sound good. But I'm not going to eat while I'm doing this video. That would just be too much. No, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. As George W. Bush said, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. For the foreign audience, George W. Bush was the, what was he? He would have been president number 41. Yes, President 41. Reagan would have been 40, Bush 41, Clinton 42, Bush 43, Obama 44, Trump 45, Biden 46. Yes, okay. So he made this famous statement for the non-Americans. He made this famous statement about, not taxing people and stuff like that. And then it gets mocked by the comedian Dana Carvey. But he's like, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. You don't get it. It was funny. And then I still have soap. I'm so sorry. This is 46 minutes in. You're dealing with everything now. We're committed. We're practically friends. Just so you know, I have a shirt and underwear on. I wouldn't be sharing that with you had I not been drinking. You want to see? I'm not going to stand up. That's why I paused the video earlier and made sure that it had stopped before I stood up and walked down. I'm making myself laugh here. So there's a place near me called Tanner's Orchard. It's been around for I think 700 years. Don't fact check that. Let's just agree that that's probably accurate. And they have some stuff that they clearly don't make that they order, because if they made it, why would they have made it in Greenwich Bay Trading Company in Raleigh, North Carolina, when they're in Central Illinois? Yep. But this is spiced pumpkin. I don't know, again, my foreign audience, you've never, I'm going to guess, never had pumpkin pie. And I'm sure you're the sound of it. The sound of pumpkin pie probably sounds like you make pumpkins out of pie. The history of pumpkins, by the way, in the United States, dating back to the Pilgrims, pumpkins, squash, I almost said butternut squash. What do you call those? Pumpkins and squash are in the what family again? They're in that family. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. It's just all, they're in that family. They were vital, actually, for the survival of the early Pilgrims. And they used to eat them, and all kinds of... I just realized this. If I hadn't been drinking, I wouldn't have realized that. That first hit is orange. I don't taste any of the key lime, and that blood orange is just very strong. Okay. By the way, none of these were asked. I'm just sharing this. We're now 49 minutes in. This is going to be a 2-hour video at this rate. Oh, I'm sorry. And then some soap that I've been using recently, to make Papa feel sexy. I'm sorry. Peppermint Frost Shea Butter Soap. I can't believe I'm a 44-year-old man telling you about my soap habits. It smells like peppermint. When you wash your face, places on your, like the skin on your body that, like your face, your face, armpits, you feel that peppermint feel. You really do, because I love it on my beard. I like to just soap up my. I like to suds up my beard. That is the comment of the day. I want you to just, even if you don't have a beard, I want you to just walk up to somebody and be like, "Ah, man, I could really peppermint frost suds up the beard." I just want you to say that to somebody, and I want you to tell me the expression they give you. Is it something like this? Ugh, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. It's a work comment. You know what I just realized? I didn't even answer your question. What did you think about Islam before and now? Thanks and peace be with you. I'm so sorry. Okay. I grew up, like I say, with my neighbors who were Muslim. And so I think I was fortunate to have grown up with people who were a different religion, different culture, different way of living. I remember going over to his house, December 26th, because my mom would bring them Christmas gifts. Even though they were Muslim, my mom believed that she really liked them, so she would bring them gifts. It could have been anything, but she would bring them gifts. Could have been chocolate, whatever. And I remember so many times Muna would say, "You don't have to do that." And my mom was like, "I understand what you're saying, but..." And I have to express this. Christmas to us, to me at least, growing up, was never about religion. It was about Santa Claus. It was about a Christmas tree. It was about, gifts, giving gifts, getting gifts, mostly getting gifts when you're a kid. It was about just Santa Claus, elves, reindeer. It was never a religious thing. And to this day, for me, I have a Christmas tree 8 feet away from me. White Christmas tree. It's not on. It's decorated. It's not a religious thing to me, and it never has been. If I were Muslim right now, I would still have a Christmas tree. Not to disrespect anything and not to say I'm accepting this other religion. It has always been and will always be about giving, receiving, family, meal. That's all it's ever been to me. Everyone is different. Some people celebrate it for the religious aspect. I don't. When I was a kid, we celebrated Easter by looking for eggs and chocolate and stuff like that. Again, it was never a religious thing. We didn't sit around and talk about, was that Jesus' death? Yeah. Christmas he was born, Easter he was killed. But it was never a religion, and it's still, to me, to this day, it never is. On Easter, there's no real celebration. I make a turkey and mashed potatoes, stuffing, all that stuff. But it's not I do it because it's a holiday. It's not that. If that makes sense. It's just they're separate in growing up for me and everything like that. That's not what you asked. I apologize. My view growing up, my view of Islam, I didn't quite understand it because my neighbors were different than me. And I didn't understand why he didn't have Christmas. And my mom told me they don't believe in Santa Claus. And I was just like, oh, okay. I thought that was weird because Santa brings you gifts. Not comprehending the Santa and, who was actually buying the gifts and giving the gifts and wrapping the gifts and all that stuff. As I got older, I think I frowned upon mostly all religion. I never I never really appreciated it because I never quite understood it, never dove into it. September 11th did change me in a negative way. You know, I think in a way it's understandable when a major attack happens. And look, I'm saying this from my standpoint. I don't know what you've been through. I'm sure you've been through stuff. But from my standpoint, it was changed to where I thought at the moment I thought all religion was bad. I felt that it was a very divisive thing. My opinion changed when I was in Barnes & Noble and I saw a Muslim husband and wife and 2 kids being yelled at by people in Barnes & Noble. And they eventually left. And people followed them in the parking lot. And I walked out because I felt very sad for the man and his wife and their kids. Because they weren't Osama bin Laden. They didn't attack the buildings. They didn't kill anyone. And the guy kept saying, I'm a citizen. And I felt so bad for him because he's not the enemy. I try to relate myself, I try to put myself into the shoes of an American living in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, something like that. Where if something happened, America bombed, blah, 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 whatever, cruise missiles, blah, blah, blah. How would I feel if people started yelling and screaming at me? I would be terrified. I didn't do it. I am an American and I'm living here, but I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know in advance. Like, I had nothing to do with that. And I felt the same for that man, how unfair it was. And I think I started to be able to separate guilty and innocent, if that makes sense. That man was innocent. His family was innocent. And it didn't change my perception of Islam. It just changed my attention to how people will demonize things. Both sides, you know, Muslim might do something for a jihad. That sets a lot of people off. The whole religion does that. No, they don't. If they did, I would be looking at the citizens that lived here that would be doing it. They don't. Why? Because they don't believe that that's correct. They believe that's stupid. They believe that's wrong. And if they're saying that, there's got to be some truth to it. They're not saying it because they're here. There's a bunch of them saying it because they don't agree that person's wrong and they're down a wrong path, and that you could switch that to any religion. So my opinion didn't really change until I started my channel and I started covering things, and it was the story of the companions, and it was the story of Uthman. That could still tear me up. And it was what he did, and just how good of a person he was. And you see the humanity in people, and you see, like, that's somebody that everyone would love in their life. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what race, what sex you are. You have someone like that in your life. That's a genuinely good person. And you are lucky to have that person in your life. And you would do anything because you want that person in your life. And it was stuff like that where I was learning about the companions, where I really thought, man, these are good people. Like, genuinely good people. And I know it may be shocking to hear that, you know, where some of you are kind of like, yeah, obviously they're good people. Well, yeah, they're good people, but I may not have known about their stories. There's good people throughout history. I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is I didn't know about their stories. I didn't know how good some of these people really were. You don't know how good a lot of people are. And that was, you see the humanity in people. And when you see the humanity in people and you see what religion they follow and you happen to see there's a bunch of good people here, you're kind of like, wow. There are people that were just perfect for their time. And I think when you look at Prophet Muhammad having Uthman and Ali, and I apologize, there's a lot of names. When you see all those people, you're like, he was fortunate. Or because they were all at the same time. And I will relate that to another situation. I'm an American, so it's going to relate to America. The Founding Fathers. You have Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Adams, Benjamin Franklin. You have a bunch of these people. John Jay. John Hancock. You could even go Sons of Liberty. Everyone involved in those early stages, you realize that they're all there and they all have a common purpose. And you realize that, like, some people were just born in the right time. An example of somebody I think born in the wrong time is somebody I like and respect, and that is the Native American Tecumseh. Tecumseh would have been great in so many times. Unfortunately, he rose to power in 1812 in the United States. And he wanted to fight to save his people. And he encountered an up-and-coming empire in the U.S. And, I respect and understand what he was doing. But I'm on the other side. But he had the makings of being and he was a good person, but he had the makings of being a Napoleon-esque ruler in bringing the tribes together because they respected him so much. And look at Napoleon. Napoleon was perfect for that time, but what if Napoleon had done a Washington and turned over power? I apologize, I'm getting off the topic, but my respect for the religion, I view it higher than all the other ones. And I've said that before. My appreciation for it is how, and I'm not saying this to be negative, is how basic it is in an aspect of they pray to God. That's it. It's an hour and 3 minutes. I was looking for something. Did I show you this is London Dry Gin? I don't even remember now. 47.3% alcohol. The first taste is good, followed by not good. That's not good either. Okay. I hope I answered your question. I'm not sure if I did. Muhammad, what's your opinion far until now about the Islamic perspective and belief after the knowledge and informations you get after all these videos? My opinion is that Khalid bin Walid. By the way, I want to say, and I didn't get to say this before, I put a video out about the 10 greatest military generals, and it didn't get a lot of views, which is okay. But number 5 or number 4 was Khalid. That was my guy. By the way, he was the first person. That wasn't me. That was the cat. I don't have a cat. That was me. I apologize. He was the first Khalid bin Walid. I shouldn't have to say that. Everyone knows. He was the first during the early Muslim expansion videos. Is that what it was called? I apologize. The Muslim expansion videos. He was the first one that I'm going to say, I just fell in love with the dude. I loved his fighting. I love his tactics. I just thought he was brilliant. And so he was the person. I knew about Muhammad, but I didn't know a whole lot. I didn't yet know about the companions. He was the one who really sold me and brought me in. And if it hadn't been for him, I don't know if I would have enjoyed jumping into it as much as I did. Because once I did, and once I saw him, and he, he's gone really kind of fast in those videos, but I realized, man, he's awesome. He was the one who kind of was just really luring me in. And my perspective of it changed, I think, when I saw his tactics. Because, to be fair, the Middle East, the early Muslim expansion videos where they started, the Middle East area, when you look at the rest of the world at that time, I would have probably looked at it like the Romans looked at it. It's filled with people who are backwards. What's the threat that they're really going to give us? And then someone like Khalid comes along and he's like, hey, guess what? I'm really good at war. And they were like, sure you are. Oh, he just beat us. No, he was serious. Yeah, he meant it. Following his success and all the stuff that he did, really, and it was the final, was that Jerusalem? When he lied to claim he was it Ali? And they got found out, and then he got sent home, so to speak, and he died at home. It wasn't Ali. Was it Abu Bakr? Was it Abu Bakr? I apologize for mixing up the names if I did. But that guy also lured me in because of what he said to the person in Jerusalem. If we pray in this church, it'll be knocked down and a mosque will be put here. And I just thought, man, the awareness to know that and to not want any harm to come to it, like that was kind of like what really pulled me in, because I thought that's a lot of respect when you don't have to have it. Because if you flip things over, sometimes other religions don't have respect for other religions because you don't view them the same. And I thought the amount of respect that was shown was really just awesome. And so my perspective of it has grown immensely, because I see it as impressive, if I can say that. I'm not sure. Oh. You asked that question, Muhammad, and then I said I started to answer your question until I remembered why I couldn't. I already forgot what the video was going to make from a damn fool. Okay. I apologize. I'm going to spell the names out because I'm sure I'm going to butcher them. Marbosaeed 1538. Marbosaid. Why do you consider Hamas a terrorist group? Put in your mind, most of the resistance fighters in the world were considered terrorists once, and other famous leaders who used the path of violence once didn't work, such as Nelson Mandela. You're right. Why do I consider Hamas a terrorist group? Because everything that I know and I hear, and I've said this in another video, information we get is biased. Everything that I know and I hear labels Hamas a terrorist group. I'm not there. I don't know. Some of the videos that I've seen, Hamas and Benjamin Netanyahu seem to be homies, so I can't exactly tell you whether they are or they aren't. And you know what? When you say other places around the world are terrorists, you're damn right. George Washington, the founding fathers, as I said before, they would, if we lost the American Revolutionary War, they would be considered terrorists. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I only call them terrorists because that's what it's almost indoctrinated I'm hearing. ISIS is a terrorist group. Hamas, I hear they're a terrorist group. That's all I know. I'm not a journalist. You'll never see me with like a pen sitting right here in my ear, a little notepad. You'll never find me there interviewing people. So I really don't know what's going on the front lines. I can only tell you this is what I hear. This is an hour and 12 minutes so far. I hope you're enjoying it. I can only tell you what I hear. Is it incorrect? Could be. I know I've heard things. I have a question. Hamas was voted into power in 2005, and they've never had elections ever since. Why? And I'm not asking in some sarcastic way. Why? I'm asking, they just took power after the election, and they're in power until? I don't know how that works. And I'm not saying, they've taken power because they're terrorists. No, I'm not saying that. I honestly don't know. Other famous leaders who used the path of violence once peace didn't work, such as Nelson Mandela. If Nelson Mandela used violence, I really don't know about that. I only know about his peace. I do remember being a kid and asking my mom, why was Nelson Mandela in prison? And my mom was just like, who knows? As far as we knew, South Africa was racist and insane. So, growing up, so Nelson Mandela being in jail, and then Nelson Mandela getting out of jail and rising to president and all this stuff, I never had a negative opinion of Nelson Mandela. So if he used violence, I didn't know about it. I look at two people in America, in Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Malcolm X, Muslim. Martin Luther King, Christian. Both of them fighting for rights of black people in America. Martin Luther King stressed nonviolence, was assassinated. Malcolm X advocated violence towards white people. I can't get behind the violent thing, but I understand. I really do understand. He left the Muslim thing under... That was the cat again that burped, not me. He left... I don't even remember the name of it now. I keep thinking Elijah Muhammad, but that was the leader. He left the Muslim section, and he started to realize, I think, that maybe he was misled. Started to welcome white people in to help him. The Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington, near the end, spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know, Malcolm X was also assassinated. He was friends, Malcolm X was friends with the singer Sam Cooke, the NFL player Jim Brown, and Muhammad Ali. And there's a great movie about the four of them in this hotel after Muhammad Ali wins a title. And Sam Cooke and Malcolm X were going back and forth. And Sam Cooke ended up writing the song, A Change Is Gonna Come. And it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. And they used that song at the end of Malcolm X when Denzel Washington's character is walking, and they're playing A Change Is Gonna Come. And it's a great song. I don't know how I got sidetracked on that, but I was using that as an example, and I forgot the example. Oh, two people both wanting the same thing, using opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of violence. This is Malcolm X. This was Martin Luther King, non-violent. Malcolm X, violent. In the end, who was right, who was wrong? Both were assassinated. So, Kelby, I've been over here for a long time, haven't I? I'm sorry. HOSAMSHWIKI. Since you mentioned karate, I have a question. If your neighbor came and expelled you, your wife, and your children from your home, would you be able to defend yourself? So I'm asking if this question relates to the Palestine-Israel conflict. Would you stop beating the hell out of my leg? Look, here you go. You're Kelbs. This is Kelby. I can't rub her. If I start rubbing her, she'll start wanting to lick my ear. This is Kelby. Her sister Maiden is sleeping. And there we go. See that? She licks the back of my ear. Hey, I don't yawn in your face. You know how rude that is? Do you know how rude that is? That was your stomach, not mine. She's 10 and a half years old, her and her sister. It's because I'm rubbing her. When I come home from work and I take my jeans off, I still have pants on, okay? She will immediately want to lick my knees because I don't know if it's the sweat of my knees or if it's because I've been crawling around, but she wants to lick my knees. Thank you. Just yelling all up in my face again, huh? Can I put you down now? I'm doing my video. That feel good? I'm getting red-faced because I've been drinking. Oh, no. Here comes the other one. I got to put you down. I got to put you down. I love you. I love you, Kelbs. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. We're still going. This could be a 2-hour video at this rate. Okay. I apologize. If you were expecting a 10-minute video. Okay. Since you mentioned karate, I have a question. If your neighbor came and expelled you, your wife, and your children from your home, would you be able to defend yourself? I don't know if this is a metaphor for the Palestine-Israel conflict. So, I'm just going to relate the question personally. Could I defend myself? The answer is yes. I am a legal gun owner. And the closest situation that I had was Father's Day 2018. I was watching my sister's dogs at her house. She had 4 dogs at the time. And my 2. A really bad storm came overhead. And so I came home after the storm. I got 2 tortoises. And I was just checking to make sure there wasn't any damage to the house because it was like did I say a tornado? It was like a tornado. A tornado didn't go through town, but a funnel cloud had went over the town. So I came home to look, and we had a tree in the backyard fall. It was a dead tree. The lady behind us, well, actually this way, she had a couple apple trees, and they both fell. She used to love to make apple pies. Felt bad for her. But I was leaving, and one of my dogs, well, Kelby, the dog that was just there, I was loading him up in the car, and Kelby took off running because we have a neighbor over there. And it was a neighbor, his son-in-law, his daughter, and granddaughter. And Kelby ran over there to say hi. I heard her yelp, and I looked over, and she started running. And then out of the mass of people comes their pit bull. And the pit bull attacked Kelby. And I ran over there, and I jumped on this pit bull, and I began to beat the living shit out of it with my fists. This is in our yard now. My neighbor Terry, who has since died, fuck you, he charges me and says, "Leave my dog alone," and punches me 3 times. I then clock his fucking ass and took him down. The son-in-law and the granddaughter get in my face. Now I just want you, I'm not a tough guy, but compared to the, I'm 6'1", 230. I'm not a tough guy at all, but I will defend myself. I don't play around like that. So they get in my face. The dog's still free. I run around. I get one dog. I grab the other dog. I'm holding 2 wounded dogs. The one guy punches me in the back of the head twice. I get my dogs in the car, and I grab my knife, and I'm holding it down by my side, and I'm at the back trunk of my car. And the one guy's going, "You want to fight? Huh? You want to do this?" And he was staying a good distance away. And I was like, I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, I do." The daughter came around the back of the house. She saw I had a knife. So she starts telling them, let's go, get out of here. And she's asking me, just don't. I then got told I need to get off my property or they were going to kick my ass. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. I was ready to start stabbing people. I was ready, let's do this. I'm ready to die right now. Are you? Let's go. I locked the car, and I was about to round that corner, And she was just like, the girl, the daughter, she says, Chris, please don't. And I was like, okay. Because she was the only, there were 4 of them. She was the only rational one. She was trying hard to get them out of there. And if I continued, there was going to be an issue. Because she knew she was safe. But guaranteed, someone's getting a neck wound. Someone else is getting a chest wound. And I'm talking about, I was going to start going, I was going to just start murdering people. I didn't care. Like, I had rage. You don't understand. Like, I protect my animals. As far as I'm concerned, like, my animals are like my children because I don't have children. So you mess with my animals, you kick my dog, and I will tear you apart like a hungry grizzly bear. I don't mess around. Like, I don't harm other people's animals, but yeah, you got to die as far as I'm concerned. So I left. I tell my dad, tell my sister, got to get a hold of the vet because Kelby's got her back gashed open, and call the cop. Call the cop. My dad's like, fuck him, let's go, let's do this. Like, my dad's like, let's go over there right now, kick in their front door. My dad's like, he's ready to go. And cop comes, cools everybody down. They basically said that I had went onto their property. This all happened on our property. They said I went to their property and like kicked in the door and was yelling and screaming at them, waving weapons, and didn't happen. And the one daughter, her name was Terry Jo. She was like, yeah, no, I'm not going along with what they're saying. So basically proved my point. And I didn't press charges. I didn't want to, cause a problem. Fortunately, the guy who punched me in the back of the head twice, who I really wanted to murder, and I'm not joking when I say that, I really wanted to kill him. To this day, I still want to kill him. But unfortunately, I'll never get a chance because he died of a drug overdose in January 2019. How's that feel, cocksucker? And then Terry Jo died of cancer in October of 2020, which I do feel bad for her. Her granddaughter, unfortunately, is still alive. I'm hoping she dies soon. And then the father, Terry, he died from an infection of COVID. So, I've been mourning the losses of clearly 2 people. You don't understand. I was walking around high. I was just like, hey, high five. They were high-fiving me. They were like, what's that about? And I was like, this dude just died. And they were like, oh, no, I'm not celebrating that. I was like, yeah, we are. So, yeah. I'm not sad at that. I'm just sad that the dog's still alive and I haven't been able to kill it. Because I've been looking. My handgun really wants to be fired, especially at them. So, in a nutshell, can I protect my family? Yes. If I take... So my dogs go into the backyard and there's a fence. This little fenced area for them. But if I do take my dogs, I don't take my dogs out on a leash. I have 2 Yorkies. What are they really going to do? But if I go out and I take them just around my house, I'm not joking. If my gun isn't on me, I have a baseball bat, a knife, and this spring-loaded like police baton thing that has this 1-pound metal ball at the end that if I swing it, the thing bends, and if it hits you in the head, it would probably break skull. So I think I'm waiting for them to return so I could just kill them all over again. That was a very unsad story. It's an hour and 30 minutes. I think I'm semi-drunk. I'm not. I got a nice little buzz. So I hope that answered your question. If you were relating it to the Israel-Palestine conflict, then I apologize for going literal. Did you ever went to rehab for peanuts addiction? They are freshly roasted, though. I mean, it says it right there. You can't lie on these bags. Have I ever went? By the way, they are fancy Virginia peanuts. Have I ever went for a peanut addiction? I probably should. Because look. So, that wasn't me. That was Kate Batts. Say I did it. Exactly. It was Kate. So, these are roasted, but they're salted. It's so good. I want to eat this right now. I really do. But, you notice I'm getting all red in the face now because I've been drinking? That's the British thing in me. But, you'll throw these in your mouth, suck on them, get the salt off, bite into it, eat the peanut, and then just spit out the shell. I'm going to save you for later. Shh, it's between us. Basically just told the peanut, I'm going to murder you in a little bit. You hang in there, buddy. No, I've never been for a peanut addiction. Hour and 31 minutes and 35 seconds. We are really going to do this. Oh, no. This is the last question. TIOKROMA 2840. My question is, when will you really care? I will clarify the question in many of your clips. I see you taking a position of neutrality or indifference. Or are you simply not ready to conduct serious research to reach a final conclusion? In terms of the Israeli-Palestinian war, I'm neutral. I'm not there. I see both sides. And I see both sides, so it makes it difficult for me to take a stand over one or the other. So when will you start paying attention to the topics that you watch seriously and researching them with us to take a real position? Never. Not that I'm avoiding it, but because, hold on, let me, it bothers me when you say that you're just having fun. This it is not the goal of what people suggest to you. Rather, when we love someone, we suggest clips for him to really search. When will I start paying attention to the topics and take them seriously? I take everything seriously. When will I research it? What are you asking me? When will I research what? When will I research who's right or wrong in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? I won't. I'm on the outside looking in. Does my opinion change anything? Does my opinion end the war? The Russia-Ukraine thing, I didn't even get in on that. I don't think Ukraine should have been invaded. And Ukraine had an agreement that they turn over nuclear weapons to Russia back in the 90s. And the agreement was, we turn these over, you'll never invade us. What happened? The things that Putin said are ridiculous. There's Nazis in Ukraine. What? As for Israeli-Palestine, like I say, I see both sides. What side are if I disagree with you, does that mean I didn't take it seriously? If I agree with you, does that mean it's that I've taken it seriously? I'm on the fence. And as for me having fun, that's what my channel is about. That's what I always wanted to do. My channel would be to cover mysteries. I would make comments. I would try to be entertaining. That's all my channel is. I just try to be entertaining. I don't start my videos saying, okay guys, we're going to get to the bottom of the subjects and it may be hard to hear. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm here for. I love American history, American presidents, battles, stuff like that. That was what my channel started out to be and what it would hope to grow to be are two different things. The stuff I cover now, that was never my intent. My intent was just to have fun on this channel. I don't want to sit down and try to solve world issues. If that's what you're looking for, you've come to the wrong channel. That's not... I don't have interest in that. Not that I'm avoiding something. It's that things like Israel, Palestine are very divisive. Oh God! What? Ah! That wasn't me. There's a reason why I don't like alcohol anymore, apparently. I think I just drink rubbing alcohol. That's all it tastes like. Not that I've drank rubbing alcohol. I haven't. Do you understand what I'm saying? Listen. You're offering videos and I'm watching them. And I'm giving you my honest reaction to those videos. I'm not researching anything. Because in the end, who am I? I'm somebody who you tune into. I hope that you tune into for however long the videos are. You watch, I say something stupid or entertaining or funny. You make a comment, I comment back. All I'm trying to do is just watch and react to videos. I'm trying to make people entertained by saying stupid, funny stuff from time to time. Nothing I say should be taken seriously. In terms of what I'm saying. I'm not here to solve world events or cover world events, so I don't necessarily know what it is you're expecting from me. Because I never set out for that. When I started my channel, I wanted to make a focus on scary stories, but I also wanted to make a focus on missing black women. Black women and men go missing in America, and they're really not investigated at the rate that a missing white person. If I went missing, minus YouTube, but if I went missing, there would be people looking for me, but there would be more than probably a black child. Is that fair? No. I know that, and I'm the white guy. There isn't a privilege, sure. That was a bad one. I didn't want you to hear that one. That was Chuck Cheese over there. That was a bad one. Oh, and it brought up the gin. In all honesty, anything that I say, even on things where I think I know what I'm talking about, where I talk about presidents, I'm not always 100% correct. So, if you're giving me a video to watch, I'm going to watch it. But if you're telling me to watch these videos and then to research it and make a video like this, where I'm telling people this is going on and this is wrong and we need to change this and that's not who I am. And I apologize if that's what you thought you were getting from me. I'm watching videos and I'm interacting with videos, but when that video is done, my brain shuts off. Do you know how many times people will make comments in videos that I did 10 months ago, and they'll ask me a question on something that I said, And I'm like, I have no idea. If that video was published or put out 10 months ago, I could have done it 11 or 12 months ago. I don't know what I said. A lot of times people will laugh at stupid comments that I said, like I'll pause the video and make a comment. Like a recent video, Muhammad donated to the video, and I had said, I knew how Muhammad was going to die because, and I talk to Muhammad frequently. I talk to Muhammad in the comment section and in email frequently. So I built up enough with him in communications that I it's a friendly thing. And there are other people too. Greg Messick, I comment back and forth. I consider him a good guy, and I enjoy his comments. Even if they're negative, I still enjoy them because he's somebody who's been on my channel for so long. And I truly do appreciate that, and I respect the fact that you're still here because I don't even watch my videos. My ear's itching. Sorry. Why did I have to... I had to tell you that my ear was itching like you didn't know. Sometimes I'm just stupid. This is what I'm talking about. Why do you want a guy who just had to take the ear and tell you that his ear was itching? What kind of problems do you think that guy's going to solve? Hey guys, my head's itching. What am I going to accomplish in all this? And I'm not trying to like diminish your comment. I understand what you're saying, but that's just not what that's not what I want. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. This conflict, if this is what you're talking about, this conflict doesn't involve me. I'm not there. I'm not involved in it. Do I take it seriously? Yeah, people are dying. People are dying in the Russia-Ukraine war. People are dying in... Are there other wars going on? I really don't know. I didn't even know the Israel-Palestinian war had started until like day 3. Muhammad, Hammer, the Warrior, a lot of these people were reaching out to me and they were sad, and I was like, what's wrong? And they told me the war that's going on, and I'm like, the war that's going on? What war's going on? I'm terrible at current events. I didn't even know it was going on until day 3. This is the guy you want to be serious about something? I don't even keep up with current events. I'm a history guy. I could tell you about a war that happened 300 years ago. 30 was a terrible number to throw out. I meant to say 300. I've been drinking. I apologize. I could tell you about something that the French and Indian War or the 7 Years' War. Yeah, if you want to talk about that, absolutely. I'll take that seriously. I'm a history guy. That's my enjoyment. A lot of these videos involve history. That's my enjoyment. So the current war, all the stuff that's going on, I'm fearful on stuff like that because it's current. It's affecting people today. And so yes, I do ride the fence on that because I'm not trying to jump into something that I don't understand. I don't know. I've never been to Israel. I've never been to Palestine. I've never engaged with anybody. I'm 0.02%, is it Ashkani Jew? Does that mean that I'm suddenly going to defend the Jewish people? No. I'm 0.0... Did you hear that noise? Alexa? Did you just chime?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
You don't know if you just chimed? Bitch, are you stupid? I know she chimed. I know that bitch chimed. Alexa, what's my notifications?
Too many notifications. You unlock the new personalized playlist. My year
Alexa, shut up, bitch.
I'd like to know what went wrong. If you want to give me more details, just say, I have feedback.
I don't know what's happening right now. I got two Alexas. One in my bedroom. It's that way. It's that way. For all the ladies out there who want to know, the bedroom's that way. And it gets a lot of... It doesn't get anything. Nah, nothing. Only my dogs. Kate Bats from time to time. Well, that sounded weird, didn't it? No, I'm not. Take that part back. Kate Bats and I, it's strictly platonic. We're friends. Right, Kate? I'm glad she didn't answer, because that would have been... If she'd have been like, yeah, we're cool, I'd have been like, oh, no, I did get the possessed Kate Bats. There are some times when I'm watching the videos, and I'll scroll, and I'll just, like, look. I'll look at the screen, because the screen is up. Screen is up here, clearly. That's the mouse. And I will look at the screen, and I just pray that I don't see her go. This is an hour and 46 minutes and 46 seconds. I hope you... Oh, no. I hope you appreciate this video. This should be my Christmas Day release. Does anybody else have to pee? I've been drinking. You know what? We're not ending this. I'm going to pause this because Papa has to tinkle. Okay, so you tell me if this is weird. I say this to my niece, and she gets disgusted. She laughs, but I tell her, I got to go tinkle out of my ding-ding. I've got to go tinkle out of my ding-ding. And then if you grab yourself and you, like a little kid, like, my niece is just, she's appalled whenever I do that. It just makes me fun. I just love it. I got to pause so I can get a beverage, another alcoholic beverage, because I think we're going to make this video a long one. I mean, why not? That was all the questions, but let's just keep talking because I'm feeling good right now. It's 6:04. I have been doing this since like 4:15. That wasn't me. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Did I tell you I was going to pause? So I went and got some... By the way, to anyone who doesn't know, Shasta is considered a very cheap soda, but I want you to know something. I grew up relatively poor. Cheap soda, Faygo, Shasta, Sam's Choice. These are sodas that I drank and I loved. I opened up... Oh, wow, I was really close to spilling that. I opened up day 6 on the calendar, and unfortunately, I got another winter mule mixer. It's boy, but now I have American vodka, as covered previously. I'm not a vodka fan. I'm sorry, it's been almost 2 hours and I haven't eaten dinner yet. So, I'm a big fan. Chips. I'm fried pickle and ranch dip. And I know what some of you are thinking. Wow, what an unhealthy piece of crap he is. You would be correct, but I've been drinking. I muted it so you didn't have to see me crunch or hear me crunch. You didn't have to see me crunching. I really have been drinking. It's okay. And if the person watches this, I'm going to call them out right now. AL, can I not talk? AL dash JOHAR asked a question, not on this video, about the 100 Years' War. And I told him that I was going to cover the 100 Years' War, but I was currently making a 2-hour video on my Q&A video. So if you're watching this and you're an hour and 51 minutes in, congratulations, this was about you. That was all the questions. Okay, it wasn't all the questions. Hold on, let me go back.
Hey everyone.
Was that me? Okay, so there was, and by the way, the person who asked that question, do I really care? That wasn't me. TIOKROMA 2840. I'm not mad at you or anything. I don't know what you were expecting from my channel is my only thing. I don't know if you were expecting me to like, this is wrong, this is right. Just so you know the person you're talking to. When I look at presidents, I lean more Democratic. But when I review presidents, I review them in their time. And just hear me out. I know what you're saying. What does this have to do with what you're saying? I review a president based on their time. And so when I review someone like our first president and our general during our independence, George Washington, I review him. He's the reason why I do any of this. Because my presidents and dig into history and all that stuff, he's the reason why I do it. I visited his home in 2016 with my father, and then 2014, and then I went back in 2016 by myself, and I just toured the whole home. And he was a slave owner. Okay. Some people don't like me when I say this. I do not view him negatively based on him being a slave owner. Hear me out. I know what somebody's saying. He was a slave owner. That's terrible. You're absolutely correct. And if he was sitting next to me right now, I would tell him, you should have, he even knew slavery was bad. You should have freed him. What the hell was that? So I would tell him, slavery is terrible. But what I tell to everyone else is, I don't judge him on his slavery, because in the time that he lived, slavery wasn't illegal. And you have to judge the person based on their time, not by what we hold them accountable for today. We can say from 1865 in the U.S., from 1865 onward, slavery is terrible because it was abolished. We all know owning another person is terrible, and I get that, but I don't hold those people to that standard because in the time they lived in, it was legal. It's like a loophole in a way that I give them. Now, if you're telling me George Washington would have been our 18th president, which was Ulysses S. Grant, or Ulysses S. Grant, however, Ulysses Grant. And he owned slaves. I would say, dude, what are you doing? It was abolished 2 presidents ago. Yeah, no, you're terrible. You're wrong. But it wasn't. And it's not right to judge someone in a time that they could never live in, and in a moral situation that they can never live in. So I hope people can understand when I view things, I try to view them in according to the respect of that time. It doesn't always work, sure. It's hard, and a lot of people will argue with me like, well, you know it's bad. Yes, I do. But again, you got to hold them, you got to judge them in that time. It wasn't bad then. And you can't say that person's bad because they own slaves. They were in the South. Washington was in the South. Sure, okay, he's terrible because he owned slaves. But what about the rest of the population that didn't own slaves, but didn't want a black person, free or not, living next to them? Racism, it's tough. But you have to judge. I don't even know how I got done this discussion. Just talking about my channel. But, that's how I judge them. When I started my channel, my goal, these are the things that I wanted. I wanted to cover mysteries and disappearances. I wanted to put out my own content, which I have terrible editing software, so I just make shorts. But ultimately, my goal is to go to these places. Like as I said, I want to go to Abraham Lincoln and all these other places, and I'm still going to. I promise. But yeah, these are videos that I have saved. This is my video right now. But yeah, like this is my Abraham Lincoln visit before. I actually don't even know if you can see this. I'm not even sure. I don't even think you can. But if you can, that's the house. But anyways, my goal when I started was to cover those things and then cover my own historical content, much like channels that I like, which I've done one video of, the History Underground. I love his channel. And there for a while, he was visiting places several months after I was. And I was like, that guy's following me. He's a stalker. But I was okay with it. Another channel that I really like is Vlogging Through History. I completely respect that guy. Mr. Beat occasionally, time to time, makes some videos that I like. Sometimes he says things that I disagree with. He makes videos that I like. I disagree with him. I agree with him. As I think all channels. But I wanted to make my own content. And then I also wanted to interview channels that I liked and that I watched and that I enjoyed. For example, some of you won't know, but there's a British guy, black guy named Kabir, and he has a channel called, I think it's called Kabir Considers. And I always laugh because he'll always start his video and he's like, hey, welcome back to the channel, blah blah blah, and I am Kabir Considers. And he always does this, he always gives the point and the thumbs up, and I was, every time I watch the video, I was like, Kabir Considers, but I say it in a British voice, Kabir Considers. It's a terrible British voice. But there are channels that I would love to interview on this and just put them out. Most of you probably wouldn't even watch it. My channel has changed from where it started to where it is now, and I've lost subscribers. April of 2001. No, I'm sorry, April of 2002. April of 2022. I made Mr. Ballin videos, and I had a great comment section. I had people that I loved to talk to. My channel slowly stopped growing. It was early on, but my channel was growing at about 4 to 6 subscribers a month. Now it's like at 100 a week. It's ridiculous. It's amazing. I don't understand it. I don't even know why you're subscribed. Why are you watching? Shut this off. I would. But it's the flow. I'm sure one day I could possibly move away to something else, and a lot of you won't follow. It's upsetting, but it's like there's a new audience around the corner. That's just how I have to think. People come and go. I would love to keep everyone, but even in my own life, on my own YouTube channel, I'm subscribed to 158 channels. I probably would have been subscribed to 400. I've left channels just because I no longer watch their stuff because they don't do videos that I like. It is what it is. Unfortunately, it's the ebbs and flows of everything. My dream job would be to have been a tour guide at Mount Vernon. I haven't done anything to make that happen, but if I did and I got that job, I would stop my channel. Maybe I would. I would probably take a break, and then I would restart it once I was established and kind of got stuff going. But you would see a lot of George Washington, Mount Vernon content, and a lot of you would be like, "Yeah, I don't care." But somebody asked. One of the questions was, "What did I?" Let me double check. But I thought I was asked, "Why did I start this channel?" By the way, to TIOKROMA, who asked me, do I really care and anything like that? I don't know if I answered your question. I do apologize if I didn't. And I apologize, honestly, if it's not the answer you were hoping. If you were thinking that I'm somebody who's going to, like, dig into topics and everything like that. It's just not. I'm just trying to give people who watch my channel, they're going to watch it and they're going to get an honest reaction from me, and I'm hoping that my reaction will be, it's real, but I'm hoping my reaction will also be entertaining, because that's what it is. I want you to be entertained when you watch my channel. Just to be fair to that person, somebody named Patrick replied to them. I know Patrick. I work with Patrick. And he took offense to that comment, and he defended me. That was why I said thank you. I was thanking him for defending me. I appreciated what he said. I wasn't saying it like, you're a piece of garbage because you said that. Not at all. You have every right to say it. I love that you said it. You asked me, and you really wanted a legit answer. I get it. Pat just said that I do care, and it shows in the videos. And my first response is original, organic. The playful banter and equal education from him and his viewers is brilliant. Pat's a friend, so he was defending me. So, not to feel like we were jumping on you, somebody asked me, and I can't find it now. Well, that's too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm sick and tired of.
Really?
Hey everyone, it's Chris.
Oh, shut up. No one cares what you think. Or do they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So someone asked, why did I start my channel? And I don't know if they asked that in another thread or not. American vodka is still going to be garbage. Even the cream soda couldn't save that. See, this is more the ginger and lime. And now the ginger's throat kicking the shit out of me. Somebody asked me why I started my channel. So, since maybe 2016, 2017, we're at 2 hours and 6 minutes. I am so sorry for anyone who's still watching. I was asked by a niece who asked me if I'd ever consider doing a channel. And I was like, why? And she said, well, you would make funny comments. I think your channel will be entertaining. And I was like, well, you're stupid. You know, and I punched her in the kidneys. And she was just like, you know, and I was like, that's what you get. And she's like, but seriously, you should. And then my sister Angie, my brother-in-law, they were like, you should. You're entertaining. Funny. Clearly gorgeous. But you could probably get some people. Now, they never anticipated the foreign audience. They always just, I think, anticipated an American audience. So, you know, and I thought about it, and then in like 2018, I started really considering it, but I never had the nerve to do it. There's something weird about sitting here and looking at a camera right there with a little green dot, recording myself in an empty room with two dogs who are sound asleep, and thinking that anyone cares. Does anyone watch this? Is anyone really listening? Like, who cares? Really? And the thought that I could put videos out that wouldn't be watched, and then I could put out 1,000 videos, which as of this morning, I have 1,002 videos out. And I have 2,055 subscribers. Occasionally you hear me talk about Greg Messick in my video. He was subscriber number 6. He was the first subscriber I had that I didn't know. And he's still here. And like, I've had people come and go, and yet someone like him's still around. So there's something worthwhile. It's clearly not me, but there's something worthwhile in the videos. And I do thank you. I honestly do thank you. But I've been fortunate enough to talk to people, and they give you words of encouragement. There are a few that don't, and those people find that I can be rather dickish in return, especially if you make a video about a band, which I clearly should not have made. I wasn't in the right headspace, but my retaliation video was It was I stand behind it. I was called some pretty harsh names, and I retaliated. I didn't care. Some people, as I was told, why don't I be the better man, and don't let those things get to me. And I'm like, they assaulted me verbally. Like, my mom didn't raise me to stand by and let somebody tarnish me. My mom said, if somebody says something to you, you say something back. And that's what I did. Might have been a bit harsh. But I stood by it. Made up with one of the guys because he came back to me. I wished cancer on him. And he told me that he was a cancer survivor. And I was like, that's great, man. Raiders suck. But we kind of made amends. Everyone else thought that what I said was, they seemed to believe that they could make comments to me, and my job was to suck it up and just deal with it. And they found out that that's not how I work. And they thought that what I said was very mean and childish. And I'm like, well, who spoke to who first? You came to my channel because of a video, and then you decided to make a rude comment. What goes around comes around. I forgot where I was going with that. But, with the 2,055 subscribers, when I was early on, growing at a rate of 4 to 6 subscribers a month, I was embarrassed and humiliated because I didn't understand what I was doing. When people say you'll be good at that, and you do it, and you don't get that instant gratification that you're expecting, you can either quit or you can keep going. And I wanted to quit. But there were people like Greg that were in the comment sections making comments that I was engaged in. And then there were other people who no longer subscribed to the channel that I enjoyed interacting with. I truly did. And they made me want to keep making videos because I wanted to talk to those people. And now, when I was at 674 videos published, just uploaded, and I had 555 subscribers. I had more videos than subscribers, and I just kept telling myself, just keep going, just keep going, just keep grinding, and eventually it'll turn. And I was saying that clearly before then. But I was at 674 and 555. And I have now hit 1,000 videos. So basically I put up 327 videos. And in those 327 videos, I have gained 1,500 subscribers. And you see how things change. And they snowball. I'm getting paid now from YouTube. And when I say getting paid now from YouTube, I mean you all who donate to the channel. Just so we're clear. December 21st through the 26th, one of those days, I'm going to get a payment of $156.96. It's nice. since I've started this channel, and I hit 1,000 subscribers in July. July through now, so in 6 months, I've made $480 through ads, mostly through super chats. I'm going to open up a Patreon account. Haneen had videos for me, and I do apologize. I was going to put them on Patreon. I haven't opened up the channel. She doesn't even show up anymore. She probably just got sick of me. Understandable. But there's a lot to this that I didn't anticipate. Like, I do 10 videos a week here. If I open up a Patreon, then you're going to get, I feel, some people do 1 or 2 videos a week for you. Like, to me, that's garbage. I want to do 1 video a day for you, because I feel like you deserve it, because you're paying me. And in that, I want to do maybe a movie or something else for you. And then I think, well, that's 15 videos a week. And as it is, just to record, I do 10 videos, but I record 11. I try to bank 1. And I always figure that in order to do that, it takes about 14 hours from start to finish. So I'm just looking at the extra time, and that's where it becomes difficult. Because days like today, it is a Thursday night, and I'm 2 hours and going on 17 minutes in. And this is just 1 video. But like, let's say this is 5 videos. It's 5 videos. I would have to make 10 more. It's very time consuming. I don't even edit. If I did, I couldn't put out 10 videos. If I had to make thumbnails, I couldn't put out 10 videos, because the time it would take to edit things down makes it more difficult for me to be able to put things out. And I still want to also be able to have free time, because this job, my job, is 40 to 60 hours. This takes another 10 to 15. I got to focus where I'm getting paid, which is my job. If I was getting paid more here, I would focus more here. So it's a juggling act, and I'm doing my best that I can, but I can't please everyone. And it's just difficult, you know. It really is difficult. But anything I can do to make the channel better, I do try. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to cover. I will be going to Abraham Lincoln's home. I'll make shorts there again. I'd like to go to Grant's house. I would love. It's too late now, but I would have loved to have went to Galena, Illinois, to do Grant's home, and then take you through Galena. So Galena, Illinois it's a beautiful place, northwest part of Illinois. But the glaciers that went over the central part of the country really leveled everything. But with Galena, it's a very rocky core. So the glacier split and went across and around it. So the core of Galena is rocky, and so there are hills and there are old Victorian homes, and it's a beautiful, they have a downtown area. It's a very touristy attraction area, but it would be beautiful for fall, for foliage, the foliage, that's the word, falling down, just the view. I think that would be a better time to go. Herbert Hoover clearly is 3 hours away. He has the Berlin Wall There, you're not supposed to touch it. I did. I put my hands on it. I touched it. I went like this. I don't know why I'm bragging about it. No one was allowed to touch the Berlin Wall. I don't know if you know that. But I did. I mean, the Berlin Wall, when it was in Berlin, you weren't allowed to touch it. And so that's why it's so special. Clearly a lie. William Henry Harrison's house is in Vincennes, Indiana. And what's nice about there is it's also close to the Fort Sackville, which was built by the French during the French and Indian War, 7 Years' War, taken over by the British after that war, and then taken over by the Americans under George Rogers Clark during the American Revolutionary War. So that's the fort itself doesn't stand today. It's a monument to George Rogers Clark, and it was dedicated by FDR, Franklin Roosevelt. But there are, as I asked that question, and I did mean it, I am going to go to those places, but I may have to kick those back until next year. So I am trying, but like I say, it's just busy. So we're going on 2 hours and 22 minutes, and no rational person in their mind should be watching this still. I'm just talking to myself now. So I think I should end this video now. But if you do have any questions or anything like that, you throw them on, and you throw them on. Let me finish one point before I jump to the next. You throw those questions on, and maybe this will be a once a month thing where I do a Q&A. I am seriously still going to do a live stream. I promise. It took me about 10 hours. That last time I tried it, the software that I had, which is Bandicam, I thought would be able to host a live thing. It could not. Everything glitched. I just wanted to see the glitching. Everything glitched. It wasn't good. So I had to download and learn OBS, and it took me about 8 to 10 hours. I learned it enough to be able to do a live show, and then I just didn't do a live show. That was in May. January, February, March, April, May. So that was 7 months ago. So I have to learn that all over again. Just the basics, so I know how to do it. And then, we can do a couple of those. I think that'd be fun. Because right now you're seeing me, but I think seeing me in person might be a little different. You might be like, oh no, he really does exist. It's not digital. I just wanted Chuck E. Cheese there. People always ask me, why is Chuck E. Cheese in your background? You're an adult. And I'm like, it's Chuck E. Cheese. I gotta yawn. Okay. So I don't... I'm sorry. I don't know if this is what you thought it would be, but this was about 2 hours longer than I thought it would be. So while we're at it... fried pickle and ranch dip. And let me tell you, it's delicious. There are some people who say, I'm not here to watch you eat. To those people I say, then get off my channel. Because My channel isn't for you. Just so you're clear, I'm very stubborn. So when someone tells me, yeah, don't do that, I'm going to do it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? What? Hold on. What? Oh. This is Maiden. This was, if people didn't know, Maiden is sisters with Kelby. Okay. You done? Maiden had a tumor removed from her lady parts. It was benign, so she's good. But I was really worried at the beginning of October. But they removed it and then tested it and found out that she's good. I've had dogs that I've owned. I owned a German Shepherd named Ashley. She died at 5.5 years. She had mega esophagus, which is okay. And then pinch your butt. I had a German Shepherd named Ashley. That was my first dog. First dog I ever had was a male German Shepherd named Saba. And then we had a female named Blaze. I hated Blaze. And they had pups. And then my mom kept one of the pups, named her Ashley. And I was given Ashley as a gift because both my sisters got dogs. Ashley had mega esophagus, which is an enlargement of the esophagus. So when she would eat real fast, and normally the esophagus massages the food down into the stomach. Hers was wider, so the food just fell down, and it could cause her to kind of vomit burp, and it would go into her lungs. And unfortunately, they told me that this will kill her. And they didn't expect her to be a year. Unfortunately, I was gone, and she came down really sick, and she passed away at 5.5 years. She died May 18th, 2002. I'm sorry. May 18th, 2001. I'm sorry. And Ashley was a great dog. She loved me. I could come home and you could be holding her, just holding her down, just like, no, you're not going anywhere, you're not moving. I could come in, look at her, sit on the floor, and just make eye contact with her and go. And she would break free and run over and sit in my lap and whimper and need to be rubbed and try to lick your face. And then someone or another dog could come near me and I would go, get him. And she would just go, and she would just growl. She protected me. She was a great dog. She loved everyone. Everyone loved her. She was a dog who the tail was always wagging so hard her back end was always moving like this, like she couldn't control herself. She was a great dog. She would protect me, but she was never vicious, you know. But she came down with the megaesophagus kicked in. I was gone, and she ended up dying in her sleep. And I was crushed. I'm still sad about it today. Looking back, she clearly would not be alive today. So that's one of the things that I look at. Like, she was born in 96, and unless she planned on being 27 years old today, which most dogs aren't. Big dog like her, German Shepherd, 10, 12 years. It still hurts just because she was so young, but she did have health problems. But that one still hurts because I wasn't there. It's gonna make me cry. And then I got an Alaskan Malamute. His name was Diamond. I got him later that year. I needed a break. I needed a break. And then I realized that I love dogs. I love the companionship. And I got a male named Diamond. And apparently me and male dogs don't get along too well. Diamond was a good dog. Like, him and I weren't like looking at each other. He was growling at me and I was putting on brass knuckles. It wasn't like that. But Diamond fell in love with my mom. Like, my mom was, like Ashley was to me, my mom was to Diamond. That was his connection. That was his instant. He loved her. My mom loved him. And Diamond was a good dog. He was big. He was big. And other big dogs, like my neighbor's pit bull that attacked Kelby, used to submit to him. He was a giant breed. So when he stood up, he was like 6'3", about 190 pounds. I'm 6'1", 230 pounds. He was big for a dog, let alone big for a human being. My mom passed in 2012, heart attack. And I just remember walking past the hallway where the bathroom was, where my mom was. And he was laying in that hallway. And I'll never forget it. He was laying like Sphinx. Hands like that. And he's sitting on his back legs. And he's looking. And his ears are up. And he's just looking at that bathroom. And so I walked past him. I got some breakfast. And I had to go to the doctor that morning. I had to go to the doctor to get my heart looked at. And when I came back down a little later, he was sitting on his side looking at the door. And I asked him if he wanted to go potty. You want to go outside? And I just remember he stood up, looked at the door, looked at me, looked at the door, and then kind of trotted off. I had to use my mom's car that morning. And so I let him out. Then I walked and the bathroom door wasn't closed all the way. It was still partially open. Not like partially open, I mean like, like that. It wasn't closed, like like completely closed. You understand what I'm saying. The door handle wasn't pulled closed. It was just to where the doors were offset, so to speak. You could see the crack of light. Yeah, I gotta drink this because I can feel the if I don't. So I knocked on the door because I needed to use their car because it was summer and I didn't have working air conditioning and she did. I was going to go to the doctor and then go see a movie. I was going to go see the movie Ted with Mark Wahlberg about the little doll that had just come out to theaters. And she didn't answer or say anything. So I peeked in the guest bedroom. She had come out of the hospital. She had 2 broken wrists. She had screws in them. So I peeked in the guest bedroom. My dad was sleeping. She wasn't in there. He was there because he had to help her. And I slowly walked around the house, inside the house. Mom. 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 My mom wasn't a jokester in the aspect of if you said, Mom, she answered. And no answer. And so I walked all around downstairs. I even looked behind the pantry door where the water heater is. There's never, ever, never-de-ever-de, as I used to say, would she have been behind that door. I still moved everything to open that door to peek behind. I walked out in the garage. I called her name, Mom. I walked around in the garage. She was not somebody who would have been like, you know, you say, Mom, she answered. I walked past the hallway again, and I looked over at that door. That door's still shut, but I can tell the light's on, as it had been. Walked upstairs, went room to room. I even lifted up blankets to look. Came back downstairs, looked in down that hall to that bathroom. I thought, you know what? She was on heavy medication. What if she walked outside? I walked outside, through the garage, to the front of the house. I walked around the house, came back in, walked right in near the living room to the hallway and looked down that hall to that closed bathroom door. And I thought, I've walked around the house. I've checked everywhere in the house. The only place in the house that I have not checked is that bathroom door. And everything in my body was telling me, you know what it is. You know what's going on. It's not good. But there's still that hope. I even thought sorry. I even thought, what if she was taking pain meds and she walked out of the house and down the street? But you start hitting this realization of You know what it is. You know what you know. You can check the whole world and not check that bathroom, and the whole world is not going to have her. But there's one place you haven't checked. And there was a part of me that wanted to jump in my car and start driving down the street because I didn't want to look in the bathroom. Because I knew what it was. I knew your mother, the person you love, person who was always there for you. You couldn't be there for them. So I went to the door and I knocked and I slightly opened the door because there was a cabinet there and a mirror, and right next to it was a toilet, and right next to that was the bathtub. Open up that bathroom door, just enough to the toilet. I don't see anything. And for a split second, there's a part of me going, she's not in here. And I go, let me slide over a little bit. And I go, huh. And as I lower my hand, I slightly push the door. And the door opens probably another 6 inches, just enough to see her kneecaps. And I go, huh. And I open up the door, and she looks like she's sleeping in the bathtub. And I kind of walked over to her and I said, Mom, 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 Mom. And I'm saying it louder. And I put my hand on her shoulder and I go to shake her. And she was cold. So I instantly look at her mouth. And I don't see any vomit. I don't see any blood. Nothing. And she had a massive heart attack. Basically everything was clogged, and they said it was so bad that her heart ruptured. And if she were standing, which it didn't look like she was, but if she were standing, she would have been dead before she hit the ground. There's something about knowing your loved one didn't suffer that is it's better than knowing they did suffer. With the drugs that she had been taking for medication, for pain medication, she was out of it. So she didn't even know that she was dying. She didn't even look, she looked peaceful. Which, if you're going to find someone deceased, that's the best method. That's the best thing. She looked like she was sleeping. And it's been 11 years and it still hurts. They say that time heals all wounds, and it does to a certain aspect. I can't close my eyes and see my mom and hear her voice at the same time. And I think, well, I know that's my body's way of protecting me. There's I think there's a lot up here that hasn't properly dealt with it yet. I found her, and I called 911, and then I woke my dad up, and then I called my sisters, and I told them I love them, and mom's dead. There's no way to break that into a conversation like, hey, what's up? How are you? Did you get those new orthopedic shoes you were looking for? Mom's dead. So what were you going to do tomorrow? Like, how do you do? And I understand that was humorous, and I had to be, because if I continue to talk like this, I'll start bawling. So I had to make it, I had to just tell him. It was like pulling a Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? You just got to do it. And it's crushing. I mean, that was 11 and a half years ago. Still hurts. Will always hurt. And there's a part of me that wants it to hurt. Because if it doesn't hurt, then have I forgotten that person? Let me say that again, because I don't know if I just spoke English. If it doesn't hurt, have I forgotten that person? Because I don't ever want to forget her, but as time goes on, I will. There are things that I'll forget. She used to sit on a chair. I just sat back like I was going to imitate it, like you're going to see it. She used to sit on her chair and she'd cross her toes. Big toe over the middle toe. Just watching TV. And it's funny because I do the same thing when I go to bed. I actually cannot sleep if I don't cross my toes. There's an insight for you. Oh, it's better than a laugh. I can't. I'll lay in bed, and I gotta cross my big toe over my other toe. I don't know why, but I won't sleep if I do. If I don't, I'm sorry. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on for a second. One of you in the comment section just dared me to eat a potato chip. By the way, this is live, so I can't see what you're saying. But I'm going to eat a potato chip because if I keep talking, I'm going to cry. Two hours and 49 minutes in, and suddenly she got sad. You know, I called my sisters, told them what happened. My older sister, she started crying, but she was trying to keep it together because my 4 nephews, she didn't want them to know immediately. My other sister, Angie, didn't quite believe me at first. She said she didn't really believe me until she thought it was a sick joke, which is understandable. She didn't believe me until she heard the coroner. But everyone, the coroner and everyone showed up. They called it. They didn't know how long because the bathtub was cold, and so she was cold. And so, heat being just sucked away from the body, it was hard to tell. And I remember my sister showed up with my nephew, both sisters. Neighbors across the street showed up with food. And everyone just we were a family and we stuck together. Kind of like that burp. But that night, I was on the phone all day. I was kind of in shock. I was on the phone all day calling relatives and friends and family and letting them know. Then, that night after everyone left, I grabbed my mom's pillow. And I wanted that pillow. And I broke down crying so hard. So hard. I cried so hard I ran out of tears. My nose started bleeding. My arms and my back hurt from just grabbing and just hugging the pillow. I was hugging a pillow. I didn't sleep at all. I just cried and had a nosebleed. Arm pain, back pain. So much so that my dog Diamond wanted to go for a walk. So I took him on the trail. Cried some more on the trail. By the way, I don't know if you do this, but I did it. When you're sad, do you listen to sad music? I did. You want to know what I listen to? Don't judge. You don't judge me in this moment. Okay? I'm going to admit this. I listen to... It's a beautiful song, by the way, and I listened to... Come on. Stop it. I can't. So I listened to a song called Safe and Sound featuring the Civil Wars. It was a song. I didn't know this, okay? I'm embarrassed now. But it was a song from the Hunger Games. Okay, listen, I apologize to anyone who thought I was manly. You were completely wrong. It's a Taylor Swift song, okay? I am so sorry. But it's a beautiful song. I really like it. I still listen to it to this day. The song that my mom's favorite song. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I just had to get the ranch pickle off my fingers. Let me pause it real fast and try to find that song that my mom loved. Okay. I would apologize, but you were paused. So the artist, the song, is called You're My World by Cilla Black. Cilla Black. But hold on. This is how it starts, and this gets me.
I need other eyes see the stars up in the sky.
I'm not going to play it through the phone because it wouldn't be a good thing, but hold on. I'll just get to the chorus. It amazes me how many times you have to hit the button. I have to sit there and repeatedly hit the screen. But anyways, I'm not going to play it through my phone, even though I was playing it through my phone. And I said I was going to play it through my phone. I'm not going to play it through my phone. But that's a song, You're My World, by Cilla Black. That was her favorite song. And they played that at the funeral. And then I got that song on, and I remember the very first time I heard it outside, all by myself, I bawled. I wept like a little bitch. But yeah, it's you know, it's just one of those things. Growing up, my dad always thought he would die first, and then your mom goes and kind of throws everything off. And she died Saturday, June 30th, 2012. Her mom died Saturday, June 30th, 2007. Both in the morning. I'm getting cold. But this has been 3 hours. Nobody wants to hear a weep fest. But I asked my dad. I found it. And now he just sent me a text, even though he already knows I found it. So this was fun. This was 3 hours of fun. I'm going to actually upload this tomorrow, which will be Friday, December 15th. I'll upload this with the other videos. And if you watch it, bless you for watching it. But listen, I said I'd make it. I don't know how long you were expecting me to make it. I figured it'd probably be like 30 minutes. I never expected it would be 2 hours and 59 minutes and 5 seconds. 5 seconds. But let's do this again. You ask me more questions. You know what? Leave questions in the comments, and I will answer them. Maybe this could be a once every day thing. No, it's not a once every day thing. That would be way too much. Be like, hey Chris, when you get home at 5 o'clock, can you make a video until 8 o'clock and then go to bed? Yeah, of course I can. Maybe this can be I would say once a week, but that would probably be too much time, because a 3-hour video right now is a bit long. It's been so long. I fed my dogs before I started. They're eating again. So, and I haven't even eaten yet. And it's 7:26 p.m. My goodness. So, let's wrap it all up. I answered questions. Leave questions. They could be anything. You know, you could ask me about my time when I was with the Navy SEALs. I wasn't, but I'll tell you a story about when I was. I'll just make shit up. That's fine with me. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. You know, yeah. And just leave comments. Ask me questions. If you didn't like this video for whatever reason, let me know. Seriously. But I think I will wrap this up because I'm not drunk. I'm actually, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm at about a 1. I'm not buzzed. There's really not a whole lot of alcohol in this. I mean, look, to be fair, a regular soda can, I mean, it's really not a whole lot. It hit me earlier, but it quickly kind of dissipated. But I still have my winter mule mixer ginger lime cocktail thing, which that ginger really, I like this, but I'm not a fan of getting throat punched by ginger. See that initial hit, that key lime? That's delicious. Ooh. Now I'm getting the ginger. But not a lot. But I didn't drink a lot. So maybe that's the reason why. I dropped a potato chip on the floor. I dropped a chip on the floor. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're going to end this video now. That is a lot of fried pickle. All right, now I'm just getting silly. Okay. If you have any questions, comments. Oh, since I'm doing this, and I'll leave this in the description, December 20th, which would be Wednesday of next week. That day, December 20th through January 5th, approximately, I will not record any videos. So if you donate to the channel, I thank you. I appreciate it, truly. You request something, I'll get to it. I just won't get to it very fast. I'm going to take that time off to just enjoy the holidays. I will be still uploading 2, maybe 3 videos a day, just all depends. 2 for sure, maybe 3. Like today I did 3. Today was Thursday, December 14th. And I think I did I do 3 yesterday? I might have done 3 yesterday. I have a lot of videos and that I've recorded, and I just haven't figured out where to put them out. So I might just throw some videos out that haven't been requested. But I'm just letting you know, and I'm asking you, just bear with me. I'm going to relax over the holiday. I'm actually current on the videos that I'm supposed to be recording through next week, but I've had some requests, so I will try to get to those. But honestly, it's close to the holiday, and I really want to relax a little bit. I record 11 videos a week. I put out 10. I bank 1. So, it's just a lot, and I just want a little bit of time to relax and not have to worry about it. But I probably will get bored over the holiday and jump in and record a few videos here and there, but I won't, I won't throw them out there. I'll just kind of, so if you have donated or you requested things and it's not gotten to yet, just that's the understanding, is that I'm just taking a little break right now. That wasn't me. That was my dog over there. And if you've actually watched this, I appreciate it. You shouldn't. I don't even know why you're here. I wouldn't be. So, until next time. Oh, yeah. There's a donate button. There's a donate button? Punch me in the dick. There's a thanks button. You can donate to the channel. Any and all donations are appreciated. Sincerely. That is where I've been making the money. What else am I supposed to say? Oh, yeah. Subscribe. It's been 3 hours. Subscribe to the channel. That helps. Click the bell notification. The warrior says that it's important, and if you don't do it, he gets mad at me. So I'm asking you to do it so that the warrior won't kill me. And he's a humble warrior, so he doesn't murder everybody. Just, you know, the people who deserve it. And thumbs up. That truly does help. If you don't want to donate, just bare minimum, give a thumbs up. And if you're one of those people who really does give a thumbs down, like people who gave a thumb, I gave a short showing you the grave of William Tecumseh Sherman. And I had people give me a thumbs down for the video. I don't know what you're expecting. Were you expecting William Tecumseh Sherman to actually be there with me? It's his grave. What am I supposed to do to not get a thumbs down? If you've never been there, there you go. That's the grave. If you plan to visit, I told you it's in St. Louis. Cavalry Cemetery, I believe. Were you not liking that I visited his grave? Okay, but why give a thumbs down? You could have left a comment. Why would you visit his grave? But to give a thumbs down, what about that? Was it false? Did I falsely advertise that I visited his grave? No, it was his grave. Did you think I wasn't in a cemetery? There were other graves there. I'll show you pictures. So I don't understand the stupidity of some people. And I'm happy to say that. The people who give thumbs downs, honestly, truly from the bottom of my heart, I hope you suffer in some kind of cancer ward. I hope your children die. And I'm not joking when I say that. Like, I don't understand you people. I've given 3 thumbs downs in my life. One of them was for falsely labeling a video because they were telling me about the Detroit Lions and some massive trade that was going to happen. And I was like, the trade deadline passed 3 weeks ago. Thumbs down. Didn't want to listen to the rest. It was a lie. It was clickbait to get me into the video. The second one was about something about someone getting arrested and they deserved it, and this person didn't deserve being arrested, and on top of that they got tased and beat and then were framed, and the person who put the video out was like, yeah, they deserved it. And I was like, no, they didn't. What are you talking about? Thumbs down. And then the other person was it was also about a mislabel, not a mislabel. They said something in the title of the video that had nothing to do with the video. It was a clickbait video. So I gave a thumbs down for it. Those are the only 3 things that I've ever given thumbs down for. So when you're giving are you not appreciating the fact that I'm visiting a historical person? Do you not agree with that person? Like, it was William Tecumseh Sherman. If you don't agree with what he did during the Civil War and everything, that's fine. Why are you giving me a thumbs down? Like, just don't visit his grave. Don't visit anything that's William Tecumseh Sherman. But you clicked on my video. What the is wrong with you? That's your problem, not mine. If you tell me who you are, I want to give you a thumbs down for life. That's how I feel. But none of this is about me, even though it should be. Because it's my channel. It's about you. I only did that to annoy the people who tell me that I shouldn't eat on my channel. What do you think now? Here's another one for you. Just because. Am I drunk? I'm going to wash it all down with some cream soda. This is just an advertisement now. Hey, Shasta, call me. All right, we're done. Honestly, sincerely, I do appreciate all the support I've gotten. I've received. Is that the word? All the donations, all the comments, the community in general. Is that my dog snoring? I don't know. But anyways, it's been 3 hours. It's 7:37. I still have to take a shower and get ready for bed. And I have to eat dinner. So that's nice. So that means I started at 4:26. Wow. I think I got home at 4. Okay, so I am going to upload this tomorrow. Why hold it? Why hold this nonsense? I'm just going to end this now. Honestly, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single person who subscribes. I appreciate all the comments, the going back and forth. And to the person who asked me if I was... It's my sister. Yeah, Angie, if you're watching this, I called you earlier, but you didn't answer, so now I hung up on you. How's that feel? I better call her back immediately, otherwise she's going to get mad. Okay, so honestly, sincerely, thank you. I got to answer this. Have a good day, have a good night.